So as I said in one of the previous questions, we're not a one-man band, we're a team of people. So we organise ourselves as a team and we have processes. So we do actually follow a process for engaging with clients. The first real interaction that we have with clients, it really starts for Discovery Services, is with a sort of a technical conversation with an interested client. So that's an inquiry that comes in. We set up usually a web meeting. At this current time in COVID, it's a web meeting. Actually, we have clients that are all over the globe, so it's not that often a face-to-face meeting, although that will be a preferred option. So we have a web meeting where we engage with the client and find out what it is they're trying to do. If they've come to us, then they have an idea of what they want to try and do. So we will have a conversation and try and demonstrate the sort of capability that we have, and we will be in listening mode, listening to the clients, see what they are actually interested in pursuing. The next step from that point, assuming there's interest and there's a mutually beneficial fit with what they want to do and what we can do, what we recommend is sharing a bit more detail. So usually that requires signing a CDA or an NDA, so we're both protected. And then we'll go into sharing mode, where we can offer SharePoint to set up a SharePoint site for the prospective client, or we'll use the client's preferred method of secure sharing of proprietary information, or it could be just literature information that client's gathered. And then we will basically go through that detail and identify potential workflows that we could deploy to pragmatically help the client to solve their problems, whatever they are. Hopefully chemistry problems, not anything else. From that point, the usual endpoint is the writing of a proposal. So the proposal will basically be a plan of work. It's usually a set of tasks that we've defined in terms of the length of time it's going to take us and what the output deliverable from that is. So there's plenty of detail and background in the proposal, and the client can then use that as a way to decide whether or not they want to engage with us and engage that particular set of tasks. So we'll then set that project going, and then we'll review that project depending on how long it is, whether it's a short one or a long one. If it's a short one, we might have a kickoff meeting and then a results delivery meeting. If it's a long protracted collaborative relationship, then we might have regular bi-weekly interactions with the client and give updates. Different clients prefer different relationships. As I said, we have different business models. Ultimately, the final part of that process is delivery of the results. And again, we will deliver results. All the files that we generate during the interaction process belong to the client. We don't want to own any IP, so everything belongs to the client. So we'll deliver all those files, whether they're SD files for ligand alignments or PDB files for protein, or whatever files they are. We'll deliver those via the secure method that we've agreed up front. That's pretty much the process that we generally use. In terms of how we deploy projects, as I said a couple of times now, we have a team. I'm the director of consulting services, so I oversee the science delivery across the projects. We also have, as I mentioned before, we have all the application scientists, or some of the application scientists within the software group that we can help to solve certain problems if there's a good match with their capability and what the job requires. We've got a team of modelers that are sort of the core of the modeling team in Discovery Services. And we're running multiple projects at the same time. So we have the project manager for the projects to make sure that there's one point of contact with the client, so that runs smoothly, and we've got communication going smoothly the whole time. And obviously, there's also the account manager is part of the team that brought the client, and they stay involved and cover the sort of legal contractual side of that engagement as well. So it's very much a team effort, and we deploy the capability that matches to what's required for any given project at any point in time. So the final slide in this section to answer that question is just to give you an example of a couple of different business models that we've used before. There's one with a Boston-based biotech company, had a protracted relationship with. This was a flexible service day model. So that was, so there's two types of engagement. One is time, the other is material. So this was a flexible service day model, where essentially the client is paying for a block of time, and then we basically deploy that time in an agreed way. So we can write a schedule of work and then follow that, but it allows us a lot of flexibility in that, as with research in general, as you get results back, you might have to change direction or reassess where you go. You might want to stop a project at a particular point, or then pick up something or go in a different direction. And that gives you flexibility to do that within the project. The other example is a Swiss-based biotech, and they were very much a task-focused and a consecutive, linear way of working with that particular client, which also works. And so again, we were working to the proposal and schedule of work for that, and making deliverables at the end of that process.